The definitive repetition I want to show, the first thing I just want to introduce is that, as I said, one way of repetition is do it 5 times or keep on running till I come back after my tea. So I'm going to show the definitive repetition. The definitive repetition syntax is for. In all the languages, this loop exists. So if I say for, the syntax is you need to give a counter. This is called a 1, 2, 3 because definitive repetition needs some counter to keep whether I have finished my repetition. For example, for C, how many times I have to repeat? Okay, I have to, the syntax is for C in range of 10. The moment I do this, okay, and then put a colon, automatically it will indent. So the syntax is I want to repeat for 10 times. So you need to give for C a variable in range of some number and then put a colon. Now I say print X. Now let me run it again. So one advantage with this Colab is I can either run this portion or I can run this portion. So in the same screen without moving out, it's like two different tabs. Now this block I'm running, just watch. Print, there is no X here. Let me put C. Now I run. I gave a range 10. Remember the string, he always counts the first character with 0. Same way, the first thing, if you don't specify what number to start with, he will always start with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he goes 10 minus 1, but he always starts with 0. But now I don't want to start with 0, start with 1. Then if you want to start with 1, you have to give 1 comma 10. Now let me run it. If I run it, he starts with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maximum, the moment he reaches this 10, he will come out of this loop. This is called a loop. The syntax is very simple. For a variable, in is the keyword, range is the keyword, within bracket, if you don't specify the first number, it is always assumed as 0. If you give starting number and then an ending number, this is the initial number, this is the final number. It will start with 1, it will keep on incrementing by 1, then the moment it reaches 10, it will come out. Now, I want to have one more thing. Start from 1, go up to 10, but don't increment by 1, increment by 2 by 2 by 2. So remember, the first number is initial number, second number is final number, third number is increment. If you don't specify the first number, initial number, it is assumed to be 0. If you don't specify the last number, it is assumed to be 1. Now I am saying start with 1, increment by 2, reach up to 10. Now let me run. You will understand what it is. If you see here, it starts with 1, incremented it to by 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 2, 11. 11 is greater than 10. Either this limit is reached or crossed, it will stop. So for loop always has a definitive number of executions. If I say start from 5, go till 100, increment by 5. You can give anything. You can start from any number. You can go to this number, up to this number, increment by this number. Now I run. So it runs from 5 to 10, 5, 10, 15. It reaches 95. The next increment is 100. It reaches this limit, so it comes out. So either this limit is touched or it is crossed. Then the loop completes. This is the fundamental repetition in for loop. So this is one way of repetition. So we talked about the concepts of programming. Last class we started with if. Today we went with if within if, nested if. Then we also had if elif. So multiple conditions within if statements. Then we also talked about unit testing, ensure that all this is one branch, this is another branch, this is another branch, this is another branch. This whole stuff is the branch of the higher level if or the topmost if. You need to test whether everything is working or not because it is your responsibility. Because the moment you type one line of code, you are the programmer. So you cannot make mistakes. So you need to ensure that the issues are resolved at your level. The second concept that we have seen today is for C in the range for without initial, for without the increment, for with all the three parameters. Definitive repetitions. It is for loop. Okay. Now, pretty much like if can have another if within it, for can have a for within it. So nested for is allowed, nested if is allowed. So one within the other, one block within the other block is always allowed. Now, with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exercise. What is that exercise? I will ask an input number, some x. That x number, x may be 3. What you need to do is star, 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 star. You need to give print like this on the screen. If I give 5, you have to give 5 lines. The 5 lines must be like this. First line starting with 1 star, second line 2 stars, third line 3 stars, fourth line 4 stars. So you need to print like this. Get an input from user. For those many number of lines you print, but print it in the incremental of stars like this, like a star case. Okay. So this is your exercise for tomorrow, so that you will use the for loop and then get an experience in that. Okay. Is this clear? Is this exercise clear to you?